You're listening to the Nothing Podcast with Nobody Important, where a group of nobodies speak to an actual somebody. And now your hosts, John and Frank.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Frank.
I'm John.
And this is the Nothing Podcast
With Nobody Important. And this week we had a pretty tricky situation because what we had to do is we had to take a somebody important and prove why they're one of us. Why they're a nobody.
This is the season finale. It's been a long time coming.
It's all led to this.
This is it. This is our swan song.
Yeah, we're done.
Until season 2.
Yes, yeah.
So we had the pleasure of sitting down for a few hours with a guy who is multi-talented. He is a titan, you could say, of travel and television.
The face of American travel.
We sat down this week with Anthony Melchiori, who is the host
of the Travel Channel's Hotel Impossible and a couple other shows. He's had 4 shows on the Travel Channel. He has 2 major travel podcasts.
And he also just came out with a line of soaps and lotions.
It's a big deal.
Will be in hotels. So this guy is basically a walking hotel.
So yeah, he was really interesting. He talked a lot about what it takes to run a hotel, how he got into hotels, and a lot of fun tips of things that you want to do and don't want to do in hotels.
He also, told us the thing he never wants to see in a hotel toilet.
And he even went into his relationship with a certain sitting president of the United States, which is pretty amazing. So let's get into it with this week's guest,
Anthony Melchiori, and I'm an entrepreneur.
When Frank told me that you were coming, I said, okay. I said, that's great. What's the career that we're focusing on? And he said he referred to you as a travel expert. Now,
He's incorrect.
He's incorrect. You're not a travel expert. No. Okay, because I assumed that meant that you were an expert traveler. Like all your vacations were fantastic.
I'm a hospitality expert.
Hospitality expert. So
Correct.
you don't actually care about traveling. You
I
care
love
about
travel,
where you stay when you're there.
My traveling, I've been to, in the last, say, 9 years, I've been to over 40 countries in 48 states.
Okay.
I've been in each one of them a total of maybe a day and a half to 2 days.
You got something against 2 states?
What's that?
You got something against 2 states?
Yes. New Mexico and Oklahoma.
Okay, that's fair. I get with you. That's all right.
So those are 2 states I have not been able to get to. So I'm a hospitality expert.
Right.
And I love travel, and I've learned a lot of things. I've learned in Sweden you're not allowed to have a double scotch. You can only have a single scotch. You could order 2 of them, but you can't pour one in the other glass or you'll get shot in the head. But you can drink them individually at the same time. Individually at the same time. Can you do that?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
If you have 2 straws.
And in certain parts of Canada, this is my travel expert coming out.
Right.
So maybe I am a travel expert. Certain parts of Canada, you can only have your hamburger well done. You can't have it medium. It's against the law.
I wonder why that is.
You can get sick.
You can get sick.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe do better cooking industry then. I don't know.
There you go.
If you get salmonella, you're
all right. Well,
when
Canadians do better.
In Finland, in the Constitution, they just put in the Constitution that everyone is entitled to free internet.
Huh.
So it's 3:00 in the morning, and we're chasing literally the Northern Lights. Mm-hmm. So we're chasing them, and it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm exhausted, and my director says, I'm tracking them. I said, how are you tracking them? You got the internet? 3:00 in the morning, in the middle of nowhere in Finland, we had internet because you have it everywhere. Wow. I can't get it in Queens where we live.
Yeah, right. Any mall, no service. We know that. Right. We know that you're going to get no service in the Staten Island Mall, but yeah.
I can get it in 20, it literally had 20 feet of snow in Finland, 3:00 in the morning, and we got service. It was amazing.
That's funny.
So those are the kind of interesting things that I found. There's a place in North Dakota that has donkeys just walking the streets.
Love that.
They just walk the streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you would know that, Frank, if you watched my show. You're looking at me like you never heard that before.
I was really looking at you saying you say donkey instead of donkey.
Yeah.
Donkey. I'm a fucking Italian from Brooklyn. I grew up. I literally was born 3 blocks from here.
From here?
Yeah.
But so you're a hospitality expert.
Mm-hmm.
So my immediate reaction is, how does one become a hospitality expert? Like, I think when I go to a hotel, I know, this is a good hotel, this is a bad hotel. Turns out I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to that. You're an expert. So like, how does one become? And I mean, how does one become anything, right?
My dream was always to work at the Plaza Hotel. I remember when I was 16, me and my girlfriend, Suzanne, we went into the city, and she surprised me with some kind of restaurant in Broadway show. And we walked through the Plaza Hotel. We're standing on these white steps at the Plaza Hotel, and I never forgot the moment I stood on those steps with her, and I looked at her, I go, I'm going to run this place one day. And I went in the military, And when I was in the military, I didn't know what to do. So I said, I guess I want to go in the hotel business. And when I got out of the hotel business, I got a job first at the Embassy Suites in Times Square, and then at the Plaza Hotel, where actually the gentleman that lives at, and I use that term very... anyway, the person that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue owned the hotel at the time.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And I wanted to work for that guy at that point, because at that point he was like the hotel guy in the city, and he owned the Plaza Hotel. And I have really good stories that I will not tell you.
Of course.
Well, I know that he was in Home Alone, which was in the Plaza Hotel.
Probably because he owned it at the time.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Because Tom Civitano, the greatest marketing director in the history of mankind for hotels, was smart enough to bring them to the Plaza. He charged them, I think, I don't know, say $1 million to take out the lobby, take out rooms, take out everything. Nobody else wanted it. He was smart enough to want it. He's actually in the movie. Donald Trump's in the movie at the end. And so Tom Civitano was the smartest person to do it. Matter of fact, I'll tell you an insider story. You know where Macaulay Culkin slides across the floor into the elevator? Mm-hmm. Well, that used to be a carpet. And Donald Trump, Tom Civitano, and Chris Columbus, who's the director of Home Alone 2, was 12 o'clock at night. They're staying there. I'm the night manager at the time. And they say, what's underneath the carpet? I said, I don't know. And Donald Trump called me Tony, and he goes, Tony, can you find out? So I called my engineer guy. He comes over. We get a couple tools. We pull up the carpet. We start scraping all this black shit. And all of a sudden, we see this beautiful terrazzo floor, but just a little spot of it.
Right.
And they said, hey, pull up the carpet, like half the carpet. Let's see if we can get this to look like anything. So we pulled up a little bit of the carpet. Then we wound up pulling up the whole carpet. It took us, I think, a week or however long it took to get all that black stuff off. And now when you go to the Plaza Hotel, the terrazzo floor that you see is the floor that we found after years and years and years of people throwing carpet on it. Because we were going to build an entire floor for him to slide. And they said, let's see if we can use something. And we pulled up the carpet, and he slid across our tile floor.
No.
That's wild.
So you were there while they were filming Home Alone 2?
I was there. Matter of fact, when he's checking in, Macaulay Culkin's checking in, and you have that front desk lady, she's like, may I help you?
Yeah, sure.
You remember that?
Of course.
Well, that was Krista Columbus that she was talking to, because Macaulay Culkin was upstairs sleeping because it was child labor laws for acting. Right. He wasn't allowed to work X amount of hours. So a lot of times that the actor was talking to the director.
Wow.
And I was literally standing within 3 inches, closer than I am to you right now.
And this was Home Alone 2.
This was Home Alone 2.
So Home Alone 1 was already big.
Yes.
You weren't in that one.
I wasn't in this one either.
But you weren't involved.
You weren't the guy with the beard with the shovel?
No, I was not.
I think you might have been.
I was
okay.
that guy.
I have a question.
Yes.
And you don't have to answer it.
Yes.
But I'm also not asking your opinion in any realm except for literal human one-on-one contact.
Okay.
We're never going to have another person on this show. I mean, we might, who knows, who's ever come in contact with or knows Donald Trump.
Okay.
All these stories you hear that he's all this, wild, he's a weirdo. One word answer you don't need to explain. Is he a normal human being or is he totally weird?
I'm not going to answer yes or no.
Okay.
I'm going to answer it this way. There's enough evidence on the record for you to answer your own question.
Okay. That's fair. And we don't even have to put that in if you don't want me to.
No, that's fine.
Okay. That's okay.
Being in the hospitality industry, I feel like I'm in someone's home right now.
Right.
So if I go into the bathroom, I'm not going to open up your medicine chest, right? I'm just not. That would be rude.
For the record, I cleaned my bathroom knowing
right.
you were coming here.
Okay, I figured you did. Everybody does. But I'm not going to do it, right? Even when I do my show, Hotel Impossible, I will hold you accountable for what you're responsible for, and I will not shy away from that. But I am not going to take a cheap shot, and I am not going to exploit you. I have stories at the Plaza Hotel that are funny stories about Donald Trump.
Sure.
Nothing will make him look that you would be, nothing I will say that will shock you.
Right.
Okay? I'm a hospitality expert. I'm not allowed to tell stories out of school.
Sure.
I'm just not.
And
that's a self-imposed.
Nobody would expect you to. You
a self-imposed. No, but trust me, a lot of my friends tell stories. Tell stories, and if I felt that national security was in jeopardy, I would tell you. I would tell you national security. Yeah, I would call this Department of Defense and say, "Hey, we got a problem."
Yeah.
But he was the owner of the hotel. He paid my paycheck for 2 years, and he kept my electric on and my bills paid, and he was always pleasant to me. Never once was he disrespectful. Never once did I ever see him disrespectful to anybody at the property. But he has a certain style.
Sure.
And he was there a lot? Like he would
He was
show
there
up
every
a lot?
night. He was there every night. That was like, I mean, think about it. He lived on Fifth Avenue across the street. He had the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah, sure.
He had the greatest friggin' playground
like a
in the
clubhouse.
world.
Right.
He had the hotel that I would give a leg for.
Right.
Okay, literally. And he was able to go there. And at that time, he was getting divorced he was already, I think, I don't know, divorced, but he was going through a divorce with Ivanka. It was all over the paper. And he would be with Marla Maples or he would be with somebody else, with Kenny G. Matter of fact, there's a picture. I'll never forget this as long as I live. There's a picture of this young lady that was with Kenny G. And she had a red dress on. And the dress it was a V in the back and it went all the way back, to the top of her butt crack. And it was like that. Nobody wore dresses back then like that. It was like the first person to ever wear something like that. And it was all over People magazine. And I remember standing there, they're taking pictures of this dress. And I said the same thing to myself. I was like, no one wears dresses like this. Right. This is insane. Yeah. And so you just always saw the best fashion, the top celebrities. It was the greatest place in the world to work.
Sure.
It really was.
You were on the cutting edge of everything.
I met every single. My daughters always ask me, "Well, did you meet this person?" I said, "If they're over the age of 40, I met them." I said, "If they're over the age of 40 now, I met them."
Wow.
For a celebrity, I'll tell you if I met them.
Name a celebrity. Wow.
Over the age of 50.
Robin Williams.
Did not meet him.
That's funny. Well, there you go.
All right, moving on.
Thanks for tuning in.
I want to ask you about when you were...
Frank, why don't you angle your mic towards you?
God, please.
Don't call me God. It's
It takes a
embarrassing.
village. Is
A
that
village
better?
idiot,
Are we
baby.
happy here? Okay. I want to know...
Are we happy here? Okay, good. So, I want to know.
I want to know about when you were young.
Yes.
Young guy, you went into the military.
Yes.
I know that you said, when you were going to come out of the military, you wanted to work at the Plaza Hotel. You wanted to do things like that. But how did the seed get into your head that hotels were where it was at for you?
That's a really good question, my friend. My dad died when I was 2. All through my childhood, we didn't know. I can't say I grew up poor because there were sometimes we were driving Lincoln Continentals and we always had clean clothes. But, in the environment of Brooklyn in the 1980s, you can imagine somehow some of the ways money was being made, right, on my behalf. So I just knew that my dad died a good man, and I just wanted to show the goodness of my name and where I come from. And there's a little bit more to the story that I'll keep to myself, and I just decided that I needed to do something with that name. So that's why the movie. And then I stayed in a hotel once. And I was like, everybody wants to be a cop, a police officer, a fireman. I didn't want to be any of those things. And I was like, I guess I'll be, in the hotel business. I don't know. And when I was in the military, I got a job at Overland Park, Kansas. Actually, I'm meeting with one of my dearest friends who put me in the hotel business. He worked in Overland Park Embassy Suites. I'm meeting with him Thursday. Overland Park in Kansas. And he was the assistant general manager. And I walk into the lobby for a job. I was in the Air Force, but on the weekends I had for myself. So I made the hour drive to Kansas City, went around with my friend to see if I can find a job. And he noticed my tie. He goes, "That's a great tie." And 10 minutes later, I had the job. And he literally started my career in the hotel business. Wow. And so I would work on the weekends in the hotel business, went to school, to college at night, and I was in the Air Force during the day, so I was pretty tired. Why did I do all 3 things? Because I got left back in first grade, because I had asthma, really because I didn't know my ABCs and Mrs. Green was a bitch. And and then in 12th grade, make sure my children don't listen to this, I had a moose head label on my head, and I failed my English test and I had to take English again. Mr. Bukowski in Sheepshead Bay High School made me take it again. And I had to, so I got left back twice. So I was 37 years old when I graduated high school.
You had your daughter.
Right.
She held the diploma.
So I felt dumb. My SAT score, if you literally, I showed Nina my SAT score, or told her my SAT score. She goes, "No, Dad, that's just one side of the test." I go, "No, that's both." Yeah. So she went online. She goes, "Like the 5th lowest score recorded in the history of New York City." I go, "Yeah, that was my SAT score. I swear to God."
Wow.
So I felt like an idiot.
That's something.
So I felt like a moron. I felt like I was older than everybody else. I felt like I couldn't do a fucking thing right. And I just wanted to figure this out. So I was in the Air Force. I was doing well. I worked for the General. I was at the Stealth Base in Missouri. I got my college degree in 3.5 years at night, and I had a hotel experience. When I got out, Actually, before I got out, I was in Honduras for 6 months, and there was the Embassy Suites in Times Square was opening. So I worked in Embassy Suites in Kansas City, so I figured let me call them. After 20 calls, I'm calling from Honduras before cell phones. So my whole paycheck went to phone calls. Wow. Finally, I said to the receptionist, I said, listen, Drew Schlesinger, who's general manager at the time, I keep being told to call back. I just want a front desk job. I want to know if something's available. This woman, after 10 times, swear to God, true story, she says, do you have a brother named Angelo? I said, yes, he's my older brother. She goes, well, he's like my brother. I said, what are you talking about? Angelo Milker from Sheepshead Bay. Basically, that's my brother Angelo. Yeah. She goes, he's like my brother. I said, why? She goes, he's building my house for my father. So he's having dinner with us every single night. I was like, yep, that's my brother. Swear to God, I got the job.
Wow, there you go. That's one way to do it.
So I got the night manager job at Embassy Suites, and that started my career. But really, the fuel from where I come is to this day, I have no net. I have no father. I have no inheritance. I have no net.
Right.
I'm a smart guy, but I ain't that smart. And so I just needed to prove that I'm better than kind of what was happening to me.
Sure. Wow. But now, are you passionate about it now?
Pick up my business card.
It's sick. It weighs 16 pounds.
Now, turn it over. What's the quote?
Passion changes everything.
Right. So you tell me. That'll be on my tombstone.
Huh.
Really?
Passion. And what's passion? Right? Passion is when you can't do anything else.
Right.
Right? I can't do anything else but be in the hospitality industry and talk about, now I talk about branding and I talk about service. Right. And when people ask me, when was the moment you fell in love with the hotel business? It was a young lady walks into the Plaza Hotel. She has a cute little dress on. I have my tuxedo on. She goes through the revolving doors on 57th Street, and she looks at me. She puts her finger in my chest like a shotgun. She goes, Mister, where's Eloise? And you know Eloise, the story of Eloise, the Plaza. Sure. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, but I'll be right back. So I run into the office. I go to Randy Glick, who's the VIP manager at the time, and I go, Randy, we have an Eloise tour. She goes, no, but we'll make one. So she goes and she makes the Eloise tour for this young lady, gives her the tour of her life. We actually monetized it later, and we made a lot of money from it for the hotel. But that was the moment I knew my job. My job, no matter how much money you have, whether your family is rich or your family is poor, everybody wants to come to New York, everybody wants to be Eloise, and everybody wants to stay at the Plaza Hotel, right? Especially because of Home Loan 2 at the time. So it was a big deal. And I remember, I don't know her circumstances. I don't know her finances. I don't know if her mother and father were rich, and I don't know if her mother and father saved every single penny to give this girl the time of her life. But I knew my job. And my job from that moment on was to ensure everybody that stayed on my properties were, no matter what their background was, we were living their dream. It's like when you go to Disney World, right?
Sure.
And
exactly.
So that's my passion. My passion is when you're in my arena, I'm in control, and I'm going to make sure, even if I hate you, even if I think you're a dick, I'm going to take care of you. Because whatever situation, I don't know why you're being an idiot at that moment. I don't know why you're challenging me at that moment. You may have cancer. You may have lost your wife. You may have just been born an asshole. I don't know. But it's not my job in 30-second, interaction to decide. Now, outside the business, I don't tolerate that nonsense. But inside the business, my job is to make you go away with a better feeling than you came in with. And I'm addicted to that.
So Frank and I like to do on these podcasts, we like to, on a dime, we'll just change up where we're at.
Love
right?
it.
So we're doing some thinking over the past week about hotels and what things that we as hotel plebes, as it were, not expert like you, know about hotels. So what's the first thing you think of when you go to a hotel? You think Continental Breakfast.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, nobody wants a Continental Breakfast, but we've all been there. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you some things that we see at a Continental Breakfast. And as an expert, I want you to rate those things from 1 to 10. Give me it's a 1 to 10 scale.
Got it.
On something you see at every Continental Breakfast.
Well, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have...
I don't think.
I don't think. You don't have to tell me that.
Let me see the list. What do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to go stiff pancakes.
0.
We don't like them, but you can see them there. They're there.
All the time.
Can't get around them.
Every day.
We're going to go with a room temperature croissant.
Yeah, plain.
0.
Another 0. What about a nice yogurt parfait, Chobani, something like that?
Cold or not cold?
Nice and cold. I don't know how warm yogurt.
7.
7.
A 7?
Because you don't see that often. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take the runny scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
A 3.
You're not into it.
No. What about really red cranberry juice?
An 8.
An 8? I like that. It's real sugary. That's the one I like.
Small boxes of cereal.
Oh, the minis.
An 8.
And okay.
I have a question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Were either one of you dropped on your head when you were a baby?
Both.
I was dropped on his head.
I actually was dropped on my head.
Matt, this is the second episode. Matt said I was dropped on his head.
I was, and that's I actually feel really uncomfortable. Right
By
now,
who,
so.
who dropped
That
you?
explains the hole
My
in the middle of your head.
one of my dad's best friends.
Wow.
No.
He never held me again.
That's irresponsible. Cool. All right. That's great. Thanks, Matt.
Is that why you haven't said anything besides "I've been dropped on my head"?
Yeah.
That's all he says in every episode. He just chimes in.
He's the head
We
McMahon.
got to clean the drool out from underneath him in order to get it.
I can only say 20 words, and
He comes in with a childhood trauma every so often.
So that was good. That's a fun.
You were good at that.
Thank you for your ratings. You really got that down. Thank you. Yeah.
I was good at something.
Yeah, you're very pleased. I could tell.
I have to just say,
Yeah.
his face is like, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing.
Listen,
You can read minds, huh?
this is a little different. It's a
My
little
career's
different.
really gone skyrocketing.
Listen, we know you've been on the Today Show, but
Yeah,
tell us
but
about
tell
the
us about
runny
the
eggs.
runny eggs.
I'm sorry. I've been on today's show 5 times.
Wow, you know how many times I've been on the Today Show? 0.
I've been outside the
I've been
window.
on
But let's
Today's
talk about
show.
let's talk about goals. That's interesting. You mentioned I was on the Today Show. I would walk past the Today Show because I worked in the city for 30 years, right, running hotels, and I would pass that window all the time. Past that window, and I was like, I'm going to be on the fucking Today Show one day. And I never put a plan in to do it. I've never said this is how I'm going to do it. I was like, oh, I'm going to be on Today Show one day. I'm just going to be. I've been on 5 times to the point where Kathy Lee and Hoda make fun of my name every time I'm on. She goes, I know I can't get your name right, but I'm going to try it again. And last time Kathy Lee
Her
got
name
it
was
right.
Hoda Kotb. Oh, the other one.
And then Hoda actually is the nicest human being. Anybody ever met her?
No.
I think it's a safe no.
I used to work there. I've seen
You
her.
worked in the
Shut
NBC
up, Matt.
store.
Stay on your head.
But the nicest, literally the nicest person I've ever met. Not in
Right,
show
yeah, yeah.
business.
She seems
I've
real
ever
nice.
met.
Right.
So I'm on set one day, and you built a suite for me. You can look it up, Frankie. They built a suite for me, and they were going to show how you go about making sure your room's clean and safe and all that stuff. So we're going through each part of the suite, and my daughter, I think it was Nina, was off camera, and my daughter Nina was taking pictures, which she's allowed to do. Hoda sees this, and there's a picture of me on my Instagram. She has her hand on, because she's very tall. She has her elbow on my shoulder. She turns on live television, turns off camera so my daughter can get a great picture.
Wow.
I was like, rock star.
That must be a good picture.
Rock star.
Wow. She seems real cool.
Rock star.
So I have a question for you. What's the first thing you do when you go into a hotel?
I take a deep breath because I'm typically on a very tight schedule, and I'm just like, oh God, thank God. And then I close the door, double lock it, go right to the air conditioning system,
Yep.
and blast it to 63.
That's right.
I go into the bathroom, make sure there's no mold in the bathroom. I take my luggage
Make
and
sure
I
you skip the mold
and I
part.
take my luggage and I put it on a cold surface. I don't put it on leather or the mattress or anything like that because bed bugs love warm places. So I usually put it on a very cold, like would it be not even a desk,
coffee
but
table?
Like, yeah.
Do you unpack?
100%.
Unpack at a hotel.
In
I'm taking
12
notes.
minutes, minutes, you think I live in that hotel room.
Really?
Everything is
Drawers.
taken out. Everything is hung up. Everything is steamed out. My toothbrush, my toothpaste are in the same place in every bathroom in America. And when you walk into my room, if you need a cotton ball, I know exactly where it is.
Wow.
Because what happens is
I
whether
usually
I'm there
don't pack cotton
whether
balls.
I'm there for a night or I'm there for 4 days. Like the longest I ever stay anywhere is usually 4 or 5 days, and that's a really long trip for me. Because I need to
Have
get
home.
stuff,
And-
and I need to get stuff. Like if I know I have. Last week I was at an event and I had a breakfast, then I had a speech, then I had a dinner, then I had an after dinner thing, and I had to change my clothes maybe 2 or 3 times that day. So every time I had to go get a pair of socks or a pair of shoes or my tie or my cufflinks or whatever it was, you know, I have to know where it is. I don't like wasting time and I don't like being late. So 100% unpack.
Yeah. I always get into a hotel and the first thing I do is go to the window, open it, and then comment on the view. Every time.
Really? I can
Even
tell
if it's
that's
a
what they
great
do,
view.
typically.
Like
No, I don't
parking lot.
like the. I don't care about the view. It's just my way to open the window. Go, nice view. Even if it's like of generators, oh, look at this view. Every time it's the same thing.
He makes himself laugh. Look at this one.
Yeah.
Another thing I do is I put towels on the couches unless it's leather.
Oh.
Why do I put towels on the couches?
Why would you put the towels on the couch?
Most businessmen travel Monday through Friday. Most businessmen travel alone. most businessmen eat dinner. Yes, somebody's making a gesture of masturbation, and
I'm with you. Okay.
I didn't make that joke.
so every chair in America, desk chair in a hotel room in America, has got some kind of sperm on it, and I've proved it on almost every show. I actually, in one show in Pennsylvania, I had a blue light, not even a black light, a blue light, which the FBI uses for crime scenes. And there was more sperm, and I say this on TV, there's more sperm on that chair than in a fertility clinic.
Wow.
So, I never, ever sit on material chairs.
Now you're trusting that there's no sperm on the towels.
I am. You know what? I am going to take that leap of faith.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that's fair.
Wow.
That's really fair.
I'm pretty sure.
I love that your wife was standing right next to you and she's doing it.
She's doing the motion.
I
Thank
loved
you.
it.
That's
Thank
what Sam's
you.
here for. She's like a
Excellent.
mom.
She's a keeper.
Yeah.
Excellent job, Samantha.
So what's a terrible thing you've seen in a hotel? I know that
Oh,
so much.
God.
This is a question. Now, don't roll your eyes, first of all. What happened was,
We both rolled our eyes at the same
yes,
time.
when we met, we said, we want to ask different kind of questions. We don't ask, what's the worst thing you've seen in a hotel? There's a reason I'm asking.
Okay.
What's something that you would walk in a hotel and go, that's a problem. I need to
On
go
my
down to
TV
concierge
show-
immediately.
On my TV show or in real life?
In real life. I need to go down to concierge immediately and complain about this.
You're going to laugh.
Hopefully.
I have a serious problem with mold in my bathroom. Like, literally can't function if there's mold in my bathroom.
I saw one where you pulled the ceiling down and there was all sorts of
But that was on
mold.
the TV show. I have
That was
million
on,
things.
no, yeah, that was on the TV show. I was
Right,
just saying
yeah, I have it right. That was
awesome.
that was in Kentucky.
Wow. You remember?
See, I have a memory for my show. Like, there's literally, ask me any scene on any show, I can tell you behind the story. I can tell you what I was wearing. Like, because it's so intense that it's just etched in my memory. There's not a show I can't tell you the backstory about. So mold is a problem for me. So I was at a hotel in Washington, and the room was okay. It looked a little outdated, and it was big. They always give me your big rooms, and I like a smaller room because the big rooms just give me anxiety. So I walk into the bathroom. I pulled the shower curtain back, and there's some mold, and it literally really upset me. I called downstairs. I was very nice. I was like, "Oh, by the way, there's some mold in the bathroom. I'm going to dinner. I'd like it if somebody can come up and clean it before I have to take a shower in the morning." Come back, it's not cleaned. So I had to take a shower with the mold in the shower. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I just literally have an aversion to having some, like, because it reminds me that other people took a shower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the hotel business, our number one priority is to make you believe no one's ever been in that room. No one's ever masturbated on a chair. No one's ever had sex in that bed.
Right.
No one has ever gone to the bathroom and taken the wallpaper off. It's never, it's just been, it's pristine.
It was made for you,
Right.
clean for you.
And that's your
brand new.
job.
That's how you want it.
In a lot of the hotels, they do a really good job. And so the mold just tells me, oh, a lot of people have been naked in the shower, and I don't really want them to be in the shower.
It is gross when you stop and think about it.
So I had to take a shower with the mold, and it stressed me out. I mean, I got through it; it was no big deal. But like, why should I be stressed out taking a shower?
I agree. You know what I've seen? How do you feel about the paper ring around the toilet seat? You ever see this?
Well, I haven't been in a one-star hotel in a very long time.
Wow. Shit. Legit. No, what are you talking about? Paper in the toilet seat?
Is
wait,
that
no,
is that a low-class move?
No, okay, all right. That's a very good question. When I first started this show, like almost maybe 10 years ago, a long time ago, there were, in the 2-3-star hotels that we go into, there was a lot of that. We just clean the toilet for you. Here's a little piece of paper to let you know. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, like
that it's
seals
clean.
it
A
seals
seal.
the seats together.
Right, it's like
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
band.
it's wrapped around, a band wrapped
Oh,
around.
I know what you're talking about.
They
Okay, yeah.
almost so when I first started, I saw a lot of that. Now I don't see it. I don't see it anymore. No one really does that. But sometimes they do. And my argument to that was when I would, when I would see that on the show, I would say, I don't see anything wrapped around the bed. I don't see anything wrapped around the curtain. Why do you have to wrap the toilet seat?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's clean.
Right.
And if
You
it's
assume
not
the rest
clean,
is also clean.
and
Right.
if it's not clean, how do I know that wrapper makes it clean? Maybe somebody didn't clean. Listen, somebody just did, I think it was on 2020, where they went around and they put sheets underneath the bedspreads that were dirty. And when they checked out, they checked back into the same room the next day, and the same sheets were there because they used a blue light or a black light to see if the stains were there. And they were there. So the seal's not telling me it's clean or not clean. You just got to look at it visually. So we don't see that you don't see that too much anymore.
Yeah.
So what is your take on doing an improv with us right now?
Yeah. This is something we...
What do you think my answer is going to be?
No.
No.
100%. Let's go.
You're in. Okay.
Good. This is something we
All right,
like
good.
to do with all of our guests.
Because I know you wanted to get into acting. We've talked about this. Or at least just dabble, right?
Right. I'm
Beyond
acting right
your-
now. I act like I like you.
You act like having a good time. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So
what we're gonna do.
So in this game, you are you. This is a scenario. We're just gonna act out a real life scenario. You're you.
Don't dilute it for him. This is a performance.
All right.
I'm me. So what's my motivation?
Well, you tell me. Frank is going to be the house cleaner, the housekeeper, and I'm going to be the person at the desk. Now, you're going to come down and complain to me about something, as you would. Tell me how this would work if you were to come and complain to me, and we'll see how
we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? How's it going?
Good. I had a problem with the toilet.
Oh, what's the problem? Is it flooding or something?
No, the water level is really, really high, and my testicles keep dipping into the water level when I have to go to the bathroom.
So you need extra towels? Is that what you're saying?
No,
'Cause you put
I
them
need
all on
it.
the couch?
I really appreciate my testicles not taking a bath every time I go to the bathroom. I know it's not your fault, but can you please take care of that for me?
Yeah, I'll send the house cleaner. Frank, you're our housekeeper. Can you say this?
Sure.
What's the problem here? What happened?
Let's go up to the room.
Okay.
I'm going to go with you because I need to stay in the story.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Sure. Oh, yeah, sure.
Why is the housekeeper coming with us?
Because I have a hunch he has this thing he does where he tends to pour gallons of water into the toilet after.
Okay.
So I want to just make sure he's not doing that.
First of all, when was the last time you saw a male housekeeper? And second of all, an engineer should be coming with us because they can fix it properly.
Well,
all right, we'll bring our engineer. Matt, can you be our engineer, please?
Hi, I'm an engineer.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
We're
we're going
here.
to go up.
Okay, so can we see your testicles first?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, they're abnormally long. This is the problem.
Okay, well, that's a start.
Right.
That's a start. If the water was cold, though, we wouldn't have
Let me
a
ask you a
problem.
question, sir. This is a 5-star hotel. It says that this is the best hotel in the city, and I would expect that you have all types of testicles.
That's right.
Well,
So should you be ready for that?
What do you have to say about that, Frank?
let's ask the engineer.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think? Can you
say to that?
No, but really, Matt, what's the deal with the water here?
I'll get a wrench.
For my testicles?
So you've been on the Today Show 5 times, so this is what we need to do. Anyway, so your balls are too long.
And scene.
I thought you were
Very good, very good.
Very good. Great. That was great.
Now, can I tell you why I came up with that so quickly?
Sure.
Algonquin Hotel, a French man, had that problem. Swear to God, calls up, calling his front desk, called the front desk, got the front desk all pissed off and upset, and they asked me, and they tell me this whole thing. So I said, send somebody up, lower the water. Anyway, so the next day in our stand-up, because every hotel I run, I have a stand-up in the morning, which means we stand up, all executives, and we talk about yesterday and what's going on tomorrow.
I thought you did a
today.
stand-up set every morning at a hotel. That's what I thought. Like you did stand-up comedy in the mornings at the hotel.
He's so intense.
That's what I thought.
Why would you interrupt me while I'm talking?
No, I'm just saying. That's what I thought. I thought you said that you were doing a stand-up set. I'm like, oh, okay, that's something that I didn't know hotel engineers.
And why would
managers had
you?
to do.
Just curiosity. Why would you think I would do a comedy scene before every day?
Well,
I
I
started
asked
a
the
job?
question, didn't I?
don't
Clearly,
know.
I didn't know why
About
that
2
would
minutes
happen.
ago, you just did a comedy scene.
Right.
No, but we do a stand up, and so we would go around talk about what happened yesterday, what's happening today, and tomorrow. And of course, everybody knew about the testicle thing because it went through the hotel like wildfire. And they said, so everybody's laughing about it, and I all of a sudden got real serious and said, "Why are you guys laughing?" And they're like, well, I said, but it's a guest, and he may have been traumatized. His testicles, every time he had to go to the bathroom, were taking a bath. And like 1, maybe he has a problem with his testicles, and it was like really annoying. 2, maybe he get a disease from the toilet. We don't know. And 3, it was probably uncomfortable. Did anyone think about bringing him a towel?
Yeah.
Now everybody's dead shit because when I run a hotel, like I'm a nice guy, but
You're
I don't
intense.
take too much shit.
Yeah.
And they were all looking at me, and finally my assistant realized I was making a joke, and she cracked a smile, and then everybody cracked a smile, and then we were all belly laughing. But that actually happened.
So what you're saying is everyone was laughing at the stand-up.
Yes,
So
exactly.
just want to bring that around.
Jesus Christ.
Wasn't that crazy?
You're a genius.
It's a battle of wills. He's like, he gives you the look like I ain't doing it. We're like, want to
Matt.
play a game?
Matt, you had a question.
So for those who don't know, I work in the travel industry, and I'm curious.
What do you do in the travel industry?
I'm a travel agent, air tickets, hotels, and all that. Sure. I'm curious, in your experience, what is the cleanest country that you've been to, hotel-wise?
It's a really good question. The cleanest country I've been to, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Every one of their. Matter of fact, I believe in Sweden, I would have eaten off the airport floor. It was the cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Do you think that's a cultural thing, or is that just how they run their businesses there?
I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a culture thing. It's very, very clean, and just that area of the world is my favorite area of the world. And it's just like you go into a gas station and you can have like a full course dinner in a gas station. If they're clean, you go in the bathrooms like being in a 5-star restaurant bathroom. Like I have not in that area of the world. I've never been to an airport. I'm sorry, to a gas station that hasn't been spotless.
Wow.
And you go in to the little grocery store, and they have like 17 million of everything. Like you have 27 salamis and 27 cheeses and milks and sodas, and everyone's nice, everything's clean. And then you realize when you fly into LaGuardia, I live in a third world country.
Totally. There's always that feeling when you come back to New York and you're on the Belt Parkway, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you come back
it's
to New York
all like this.
everything's gray. You come right
That's
back into gray life. No
Yeah.
matter where you go, it's beautiful, and you're living it up. And then you come home and you're like, well, back into literally gray, black and white painting of New York that I
Yeah.
live in.
100%.
Now, I work across the street from, and I'm going to name drop this hotel, and you don't have to give an opinion on them. I work across the street from the Pennsylvania Hotel. Now, that reaction is why I'm asking.
A friend of mine walked into that hotel, and there was no window in the room. No, there was no window.
I believe it.
It was a door with no door. It was literally like you can walk right out and fall on 6th Avenue and die.
That's unbelievable.
The
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Hotel is a hotel that if you go to or if you work there, you're just going to have a really challenging day.
I see people come out of it every day, and I'm like, these poor people. Like, what are you doing?
And the reason being is it's New York City. There were 75,000 hotel rooms 7 years ago in New York City. There's now 126,000 hotel rooms in New York City, right? What is that, 79% increase? We're still running 97% occupancy. We're still running a $220 average rate. The Carter Hotel that was right next to the Westin Hotel, I used to be the senior first asset manager of Tishman, and we ran the Westin. My office was at the Westin Hotel, and the Carter Hotel was right next door to it. Literally was up against our hotel. Now it's being renovated. It was literally voted the worst hotel in America by TripAdvisor. Matter of fact, they sued TripAdvisor, and now TripAdvisor doesn't rate the worst hotel in America anymore because of that lawsuit. They asked me, because the owners of the Westin, Tishman, asked me to go through that because they were going to buy it, renovate it, gut it, the whole thing. So I had to go through it twice. I refused. I made an excuse. Either I called in sick or I just made an excuse and I didn't go and I didn't do it. It was horrific. Living on a park bench in Central Park at 3 o'clock in the morning was safer than going in that hotel. They found a dead body after 2 weeks underneath the bed. Literally found a dead body and a loaded gun in another room at a different part
God,
of the
imagine
Wow.
staying in a room with a dead body
I
under the
gotta
bed.
cancel my reservations.
And the only reason they knew is because the guests complained of a smell.
Wow.
It was a dead body.
It was Hank.
Yeah. and this is all allegedly.
When was the last time you flew coach?
Funny you say that. It's funny you say that. Okay. You're going to do this to me, aren't you? 'Cause
I gotta know.
I'm going to seem like such a dick right now.
No, not any more than
Right.
you already. You know.
Well, actually, my friend David said that to me. I go, have I become more of a dick since? He goes, 10% more.
That's not bad.
Okay. I have a couple must-haves,
Okay.
right, when I travel.
Sure.
I must fly first class because I travel like I'm 7'2". Okay,
And you travel so often,
and I just can't sit in the coach seat. My elbows are bony, so the seats hurt me, and I've gotten used to it. So first class is important to me. I don't like when my cars don't arrive at the airport. It drives me nuts. So my friend Robinson Lopez is my driver. He picks me up, drops me off. He's fantastic. Never missed an appointment. He's amazing. Those are my must-haves. When my cab doesn't come and I have to fly coach, I have long days. I didn't have to fly. I haven't flown coach in a very long time, but I had to fly comfort class my last trip to Vegas last week because I couldn't get a first class trip to get there in time. And I fly Delta. Delta is the greatest airline ever.
Love Delta.
Barely ever miss. They're always on time. It's always nice. It's the best, right? So I'm religious about it, and I got a lot of points for it. So, and this, the company was paying me to go out there. But I just couldn't make first class work, so I flew comfort coach, and I was freaking out. I was like, so then I see my assistant put me in the middle seat in comfort coach. I was like, I know you must have bumped your head. You guys must be friends. Must have bumped your head. I was like, there's no way I can. I cancel. I'll send the check back. I'll cancel. I can't sit in the middle seat. I'll lose my mind. I'll take the plane down, and I'll be arrested. I can't do it. Physically, mentally, apparently I'm claustrophobic, which I didn't realize until I get into middle seats. And I was like, I can't do it. I did it once in Alaska with my team, and I was like, dude, I don't mean to be a dick, but I have to stand there and like just leave me alone. I can't.
You want to be at the window.
No, I just need to be up, and I can't sit between two people for 4 hours. I'll lose my mind.
Yep.
And like it really gets to me. So I flew it. I was aisle seat, and it was fine. But yeah, I don't fly coach not because I'm so special. It's just life's too short for coach sometimes. You know.
Oh, you're right.
But when you go to the
No, you know what? They're paying for it, right? And I have points, so I don't have to fly first,
Right,
coach.
yeah.
But it's one of the things when you travel so much. Like if I travel once a year, I don't give a crap. I have to sit and coach.
Of course.
As long as it's not a middle seat, I couldn't do that. But I don't care. But you travel so much.
so often, you got to be comfortable.
Like people say to me, travel must suck. No, travel's great. I sit in first class. Everybody's nice to me. Somebody picks me up and drops me off, and they give me really nice hotel rooms. So travel's fantastic. Now, if I stayed in shitty hotels, I was always waiting for a cab, and I had to fly middle seat coach, I would shoot myself, and I would never, ever do this thing.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
I would never be on TV. I would have quit a long time ago. So because of that, I don't mind the travel experience. Matter of fact, when people say traveling sucks and travel experience sucks, no. But I had to set myself up in a certain way to make it very enjoyable. And I sit in the Delta Lounge, and it's fantastic.
I want to know what your so you unpack when you
God.
arrive.
You guys
I just
getting
want to
the
know what
hardest
your
stuff.
luggage is like.
Okay.
Is it like perfect?
You're really asking some great questions that no one ever asked me. These are good questions.
I have one
I'm
other
enjoying
question,
this.
too.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, Danielle.
Ask my children, Frankie. You know my family.
I do.
Ask them about my travel, about my suitcase. On a typical week when I travel for Hotel Impossible, I'm there 4 days, right? So I get there Sunday night, and I'm wearing the clothes that I get there with, right? So I don't need to pack those. Monday, I'm getting up and putting a suit on, right? I'm going to wear that all day until the night when I have dinner with my crew, and I put on sweatpants and a T-shirt. And that happens for 3 days, right? Suit, T-shirt, suit, T-shirt, suit, T-shirt, then sweatpants, T-shirt for the plane home, right? That seems like a pretty good suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I have 140 pounds of luggage. I have 2 suitcases with 70 pounds each. Swear to God.
How heavy suits? Asbestos suits?
Okay, wait, hold on, Frankie, because now you're getting into my,
I don't wanna
OCD. Now, the first day I wear a gray suit. What happens when it has a stain on it? I have to have another suit, right? Now I have a white shirt, and I have to wear this white shirt. What happens when it has a stain on it or it's pulled? I have to have 2 more backup shirts for that. So right there, that's 5 pieces. That's 2 suits and 5 shirts for 1 day.
You're packing continuity clothes.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes, I am.
Not the exact same suit, but close enough.
Almost identical, yes.
Wow.
And then the second day, maybe I'm going to wear a blue suit. So I have to have 2 blue suits with 3 white shirts, right? And then I have to wear that same blue suit, so I have to have another blue suit for a backup for the blue suit. Okay, then I travel with my steamer, and I travel with my makeup. I have a little bit of makeup case. I have about 3-4 slacks in case. I have 4 or 5 pairs of shorts in case. I have probably 6 or 7 shoes in case. I have a swimsuit just in case. I have a rash guard just in case they need me to be, with my swimsuit on TV and I don't take my shirt off. I want to wear a swim guard. I have khakis in case. I have lots in case.
Do you leave anything home?
No. My children are there and everything.
Your wife?
And no. What's so funny is because that's been a big thing on my set. Everybody wants to know what's in the fucking cases. And this is what I say to them. 108 shows. When you said we have a swim scene or we have a cocktail scene or we have a night scene or we have a whatever scene or I have to get on a horse, do you have jeans, do you have a boot, do you have a cowboy hat? Do I ever say no? They go, no. That's what's in the suitcase.
Wow.
I've never not had what I needed, ever.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that.
I have everything. What's the other question?
It was in regards to boutique hotels versus like regular hotels. Because earlier you said that you liked smaller hotel rooms, but then I was wondering like what you thought of a boutique hotel versus.
It's interesting you say that. You're asking a lot of good questions. First of all, who invented the word boutique hotel?
I don't know.
I hope it's you.
I assume the French.
Who owns Studio 54?
The 2 guys?
Which 2 guys?
Oh, I don't remember the names.
Steve Rubel, who's dead.
Yeah.
And Ian Schrager.
Yeah.
Ian Schrager opened the Morgan's Hotel in the city, and it was the first boutique hotel. I hate the term boutique hotel because I think the Wynn Hotel, it's a huge hotel. I think it's a boutique hotel because it feels small, it feels intimate, it feels perfect, it feels first class. So I don't like the word boutique. So I think a hotel should stand on its own. And a big hotel could be beautiful and well served, and a small hotel could be beautiful and well served. And if it's a big hotel and it's dirty and bad service, it's a big hotel. If it's a small hotel and it's a dumpy hotel, it's a dumpy hotel. So I know people have been fighting this fight my whole career, are all against me about it. But it's like I don't use that word, but I understand what you're saying, and so I don't see there's a difference. I think. Getting back to the young lady at the Plaza Hotel, your family saved all their money to come to the hotel. I don't care. They don't care if it's a boutique hotel, it's a big hotel. They just want magic to happen.
Yeah. So I know our engineer Tom had a question based on the airports.
So JFK just opened up a new airport. It had like that 60s style. I know they
TWA Airport
Right,
hotel.
yeah,
You're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and they brought in like one of their. I forgot the name of the plane, but they brought in the plane from
Concorde.
Exactly. I just want to know what's the most creative hotel you've been to, or the one you found the weirdest.
I did a show called Extreme Hotels. And at Extreme Hotels, we traveled around the world doing haunted hotels, water hotels, mountain hotels. And the most unique hotel, and they were all unique, but oh my God, as you're asking that question, there's literally, I can say 30 right now. But the one that just stands out all by itself is a Crane Hotel in Amsterdam. The gentleman got a crane for $1 from the government. He had to put it in a certain area, kind of like think about like the Navy shipyards down in Brooklyn, kind of that kind of area, and very industrial. And he went, I think he spent $6 million to make it a hotel. He has 3 rooms in this crane, and you literally go up like a crane in New York. You go up, you walk out into one room, and it's right in the middle of a crane. Then you go all the way up to the crane to the arm that goes all the way out, and then you bungee jump off the crane. So that was the coolest. That I would say coolest. It was like, okay, this is really, really good. And I was thinking, you're really not a good business person. And the reason I say that is because you have 3 rooms. You spent $6 million.
You're never going to make it back.
Ever.
Right.
So, and then he called me and he wanted, because I have a revenue management company, and he wanted me to do revenue management for his company. He sends me the P&L, and it says he's been 35% at $200 average rate. He goes, I'm going, by next year, I need to be $800 a night, and you need to be 100% occupancy, and I'll give you 10% of all the revenue that comes in. And I'm like, first of all, I don't work that way. And second of all, I think my company's the best revenue management hotel company in the world. It's impossible. You know what he said? Oh, you're not as good as I thought you were. Click. Yep, I'm not. You built 3 rooms on the crane for $6 million.
Yeah, it mustn't be great. You put a room on a bus. Thanks.
Exactly. Well, I learned a long time ago. Don't do anything for money, because the money will never come. Do everything because you're better at it than anybody else, and or be passionate about it and be better than anybody else. I will tell you, I'm not. I don't over promote myself. I don't like over promoting myself. But I will tell you one thing that I'm very, very sure of. No one can run a hotel better than me in the world. I will put myself against anyone. Now, that doesn't mean I'm the best in the world, but I believe that there's not a human being that can run a hotel better than me. I believe that. Truly believe that. And I work that way. I work to earn that every day. I don't say, oh, I'm the best. I earn it every day. Right. I'm obsessed. When I go into housekeeping, I'm obsessed. Do you have what you need? Is the water temperature right? Are your uniforms right? Who called in sick? Can I clean a room for you? What do you need? Is the dishwasher working? Like, tell me what you need. Because if you don't have what you need, I can't be the best at what I do in the world. Right? We as a team can't be the best at what we do in the world. And that, to me, is what just drives me. I don't know if I'm the best host. I think I'm a good host. I think I'm a very good host. I think there's better people, even on Travel Channel, than me. I think I'm a good producer. I think I do podcasts well. But I'm not the best at it. I'm trying to strive to be really, really good at it. But I've worked really, really hard to be able to step into the ring with anyone in the world, any 5-star hotel in the world, and just destroy them. And that's you know, and I think I've achieved that, and I think I've earned that. And doesn't mean I would lose. I would win in the competition against the greatest hotelier in the world, but I believe I can.
So what you would say is that you are, in fact, a travel expert.
I am. Frankie is always right. Don't ever get that wrong.
You are a travel expert, and you are an expert at travel.
I am expert at travel.
You enjoy it.
I was trying to say something funny. I didn't have.
Hey, listen. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
You better invite me back.
Yeah, anytime.
But I want parking.
Yeah, more parking. Next time we'll bring you back with a place to park. All right, thanks. Thanks for coming in, and we appreciate it.
All right.
That's it.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Nothing Podcast with Nobody Important, a cool side production, hosted by John Panepinto and Frank Caiati, with contributors Matt Hunt, Joe Hagopian, and me, Danielle Rose-Fisher, and engineered by Tom Zaccheo. Find us online at nothing-podcast.com, and be sure to rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are distributed.